behalf of the Catalina Foothills Governing Board, I want to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. Members of the public are attending both in person and remotely through YouTube Live. And in a few minutes, I'll read the rules of order for public comment at governing board meetings. If you wish to make a comment remotely, you should have signed up using the Google form that's available under the YouTube Live description. If you don't see the link to the Google form to speak, you can refresh the YouTube live stream. If you're attending in person, the purple form request to address is available on the table in the back of the room. And we do have a public hearing tonight, so you can sign up prior to the meeting, or you'll have another opportunity to do so when we open the public hearing. So I am going to go ahead and ask everyone to stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so the rules of order for governing board meetings. The governing board welcomes public comment at its meetings by providing 2 opportunities for the public to address the board. If your topic of interest is not on the agenda, you may address the board during the public comments time slot near the beginning of the meeting. Or if the topic is on the agenda, you may speak just prior to the discussion of that agenda topic. In the event of a public hearing, as we do have this evening, the opportunity to speak will be reopened. If you are joining remotely and wish to make a public comment, you should have already submitted the Google form provided with the YouTube link. For those attending in person, please hand a completed purple form, request to address the governing board, to our board secretary, Paula. The information requested on the form is required for our meeting minutes. Speakers will be called on when it's their turn to address the board. For those attending remotely, you may choose to enable your camera. As a reminder to remote attendees who wish to speak, please unmute your microphone when called upon. Each speaker has 3 minutes to address the board. The sound of a buzzer indicates the end of your minutes. In the event of a large number of speakers, the board may need to limit that time so they can conduct the business under the agenda. By law, the board cannot discuss, consider, or vote on topics that are not on the agenda. This assures the community they are aware of the topics that will be discussed this evening. If you wish to discuss a topic through written communication, board members' contact information can be found on the district website. We appreciate the community's attendance and comments at this meeting, and thank you for coming. Okay, we're going to now turn it over to Dr. Mary Kamersel, item 3.4, which is our outstanding achievements.
Thank you. The outstanding achievements tonight are all about First LEGO League. We have 8 robotics teams with elementary and middle school students. They just competed in the 2023-24 Masterpiece Season Challenge and the Tucson Regional FLL, First LEGO League, tournament on Saturday, December 3rd. There are over 60 team members whose names will be noted in tomorrow's border, which is a summary of tonight's meeting. Our team 5158 Escape Artists were the tournament champions. We're going to include a picture of them tomorrow. Team 5156 Light Benders won the Robot Design Award. And Team 5155, picture this, won the Innovation Project Award. The Robot Performance Award and Core Values Award, which received the highest score on the robot game of 345 points, went to Team 5152, Rockin' Robots. And the Breakthrough Award, and they also placed 6th in the robot game, went to Team 5153, Virtual Curators. And then there are 3 other teams that competed: Team 5151, Yearbots, Team 10906, Matchbooks, and Team 27725, Masterpiece. So congratulations to all of them, including their coaches and mentors, whose names will also be in the border tomorrow. That is my report.
I noticed once again that Charlotte is manning or heading up at least 5 or 6 different teams. I wasn't sure quite how many, but per usual, she's fielding multiple teams
Yes,
for
and that
us.
photo that will be in the border of the Escape Artists Champions has her right in the back center. So
Good.
Is there another level of competition that they'll be moving on to?
they're going to go on to the state tournament next month.
Got it.
The ones that are noted here that won awards will move on.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for mentioning that. I should have.
There were a couple of other teams that were headed by the same group of people. Are those also, I assume they're not instructors or teachers in CFSD, but they're just another parent group running some teams that were noted in
Well,
here?
Noah Mickey Coleman is a teacher.
Is she?
Mara Baker is a teacher. Both of them
course, I knew Mara
are
was.
teachers. But
And
then
Nancy Shao
Nancy Shao
has
is.
done
is a volunteer.
Yeah.
volunteer
yeah.
parent who's done just
So Charlotte
thousands of
Ackerman,
hours.
yeah, Charlotte Ackerman, Mara Baker, Noah Mickey Coleman and Kelly Taylor are
Okay, gotcha.
teachers, and the rest of those names are mentors.
Parent volunteers and
Helping with
mentors. And got it. Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
I actually think Henry Bonamola will be in that picture too, and he's a student,
Yes.
a mentor to that team.
Thank you for that report. And I want to welcome the president of our foundation, Lori Lindbergh Leung. And she is here at item 3.5 to present the foundation's semi-annual gift to the district.
Real official. Good evening, board members and Dr. Camersell and Dr. Bartlett. Thank you for having me here tonight. It's always a fun evening when I get to come and give you money. So, it's been a
Fun for us too.
good. Well, it's been a busy year at the foundation, and we've had a real growth spurt this year. We've got a lot of great new members and a lot of new energy, areas of expertise. So it's been a real pleasure for me this year, my second year, to have just so many wonderful people pitching in and helping us do all the work that we need to do. So we've had a busy fall. We had our Tapas event, which was a great success, and I know many of you were there. And we just had our week of giving, which, although it wasn't as fruitful as we had hoped, there's still end of the year giving, and then the whole second part of our fiscal year to continue our campaign. So with no further ado, I've got our really big check. I'm happy to present you with $60,000 to your first of our two biannual gifts
Amazing.
to CFSD.
You should get it. Well, we'll do it. Okay. Thank you. And so I also wanted to mention that your event, your Tapas event, was a lovely event. I was there. It was fresh. I loved the location. I think it was really well attended, and I think you had some really record fundraising at that event. Did you not?
I think bookkeeping is not my strong skill, so thankfully that's not in my hands. But I want to say it was really close to $20,000 net for us. So it was really wonderful. I mean, in no small part, the low fee that La Encantada charged us, which was amazing, and Contigo donated all of the food. So, we really we didn't have to put, any expenditures out for that. So it really helped boost our revenue, which was wonderful.
Can I add something? Yes, please. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna direct everybody over to the photo spot.
Well, don't do that quite
No,
yet.
no, go ahead.
I just want to extend our appreciation to you and your board and the foundation as a whole, as well as to everybody who, a huge community of people who volunteer. It has been many years now that the foundation has been, that the district has been receiving funds from the foundation. And even though we have come to rely on these funds and to maybe some extent expect the assistance, it is by no means taken for granted. We greatly appreciate what the foundation enables the district to do in terms of supporting the teacher induction program, professional development. It allows us to attract and retain our high quality educators. That's high value and mission of the district and of this board. And the program, I think, is hugely successful by many different measures, and that is attributable to the support from the foundation. And then, of course, we all know that the most important thing to all of us is student success, and that is directly tied to the quality of the teacher. And again, there's a through line from the student to the teacher, to the professional development, to the foundation. So we, with heartfelt gratitude, thank you and everything you do and your board does and your community of supporters. And the only thing I'll add to that is I think that I feel like in this district, one of the things that is maybe unique, maybe not unique, it seems unique to me, is the partnership that we have with our parents and parent organizations and our learning community. And so the foundation is a big part of creating that kind of environment that, again, really supports our students. And that's why we're all here. So thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And it occurs to me every once in a while, it's 2023, so I believe this is the 40th anniversary of the
Oh my
CFSD
gosh.
Foundation, which
Is
is
it?
incredible.
Wow.
And, it's just, I know it's gone through a lot of changes over those 40 years, and, but obviously its mission has remained steadfast to assist the district. So even though our program goals have, been realigned over the years, and I'm sure they will be again at some point, it's really fantastic that it has been, around for so long, and, through many administrations, many boards, both governing and the foundation board itself. So I'm just a small part of it, but, really, really grateful and for everything that happens here in CFSD, and that I can play a small part in supporting the district as the foundation does.
It's a big part. We thank you.
I second everything that she just said, and I've got a question. You said you've got new blood coming in. Is it new parents coming into the district, or is it some people that have been around for a while that you're just recruiting and getting to step up? Or
Both. It really is both. We've got some newish parents, young, parents of young kids, which is always fantastic, because then we hope that they'll be around for a good long while. And then others that have been, in the district for a bit. And, I kind of think it's like that kind of post-pandemic thing too. People have really reemerged and are finally ready to get back out and get active. So
that's great. That makes your life a lot easier.
it really does. It really does. So I've been really overwhelmed with the support and the growth this year. So I'll be passing it off and hopefully leaving it in good hands. And on
Okay,
that
board,
note,
we're gonna do a photo op with
Photo
Lori
with-
in front of
a photo
the,
with that
in
check.
front of the
All of us?
board, all of us. Let's all do it.
very nice.
Mary, you should come too.
Nope.
Yes? Yes. Yes?
Okay.
Maybe just the president and
I
the
guess
vice
I'm
president.
still employed by you.
That's a good idea.
Come on, come on.
Look like I'm fired. I don't know what's going on. What? You need your photo.
We need you to call.
Cool shoes. Yes, I just noticed it too. Thank you.
They're Una La shoes.
You like it?
Okay,
Stupid schedule change.
we are going to move on to item 4, which is our public comment section of the meeting. I do not have any purple sheets, and I see nothing online, Ryan. So I think public comments will come and go. And we will move on to our consent agenda, item 5. Does anyone have anything they need to pull or discuss on consent? Gina?
I just have a request. Sorry, I'm getting a tissue here. On the field trip itineraries, could I make a suggestion, request, that all the itineraries include the group that's going on that field trip? So that when we read them, we can better understand.
It's in the government.
The group is
memo.
generally in the cover memo, is it not? Yeah.
Oh, do I just have to cross-reference? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so you have the cover memo, which will show all of the different field trips, and then the itineraries are
They can't be
attached.
put on the itinerary? So that we can clearly see that this is the itinerary for this
Oh, I
group?
see. You want it clearly stated at the top
You
of
just
the.
want it
What we're
labeled.
doing is scanning whatever we get from the school, but I think Paula can insert something.
Or can you just ask the provider to?
Well-
But just I think it
Well,
would
that's
make
what
it a
you're
lot
saying.
easier for us to
That's an easy
understand.
fix and we'll do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
what you're saying.
Is anything else anyone needs to pull or discuss? Amy,
May I
do you
make
have
a
your
motion?
nightly commentary?
I'm gonna forgo my nightly commentary. I move that the governing board approve consent agenda items 5.1, the governing board November 28th, 2023 regular meeting minutes as presented. 5.2, the expense voucher memorandum as presented. 5.3, the field trip request memorandum as presented. 5.4, the fundraising request memorandum as presented. 5.5, the personnel memorandum as presented. 5.6, the acceptance with gratitude of the gifts and donations memorandum as presented. And 5.7, the intergovernmental agreement between the Arizona Department of Education and the Catalina Foothills Unified School District number 16 as presented.
Okay, you have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. We will move to item 6, which is our unfinished business from a couple of weeks ago. 6.1 is the approval of high school career and technical education course standards for the 2024-2025 business management, film and TV, and technical theater programs. This is a second reading and action item for this evening. Dr. Mary Jo Connery
Thank you.
and Cheryl Castro, sorry.
So presented for your approval tonight are the revised course standards for the 3 career and technical education programs: business management, film and TV, and technical theater. And all of those course standards were updated to represent the most current technical standards that the Arizona Department of Education Career and Technical Education Department has available for district's use. And then also presented for your approval tonight is the second course option for the Business Management 2 program pathway. Starting with business management, the business management pathway, you have in your board packet the 3 sets of performance standards for Business Management 1, Business Management 2, and Business Management 3, as well as the second option for Business Management 2. And again, all of those are the most current standards, which had not been updated since 2018 for business management, and we have 2021 technical standards that we're using for the performance scales that you see in the board packet. The additional Business Management 2 course is titled Applied Business Systems, and in addition, students will have the option to select Business Development Administration when they are finished with Business Management 1. The focus of the new course, Applied Business Systems, is on project management, business applications, as well as business budgeting, accounting, and finance principles. And I mentioned last week that I had forgot to leave off, that I forgot to put in the course description that students would have the option to earn the Microsoft Office certification or the QuickBooks certification. And so that has now been included in the course description for applied business systems. And then the business development and administration course, which is the other option, focuses on business careers or entrepreneurial endeavors, applied economics, project management, and human resource management. So there are two different sets of focuses for those two courses. And the proposed course description is noted in the in the board packet, so I won't read it to you. But as I stated, the Microsoft Office certification is now included in the last sentence along with the QuickBooks certification. Other than that, there were no changes to any of the course standards since the first reading for any of the business management courses, including the new Business Management 2 course option. For Film and TV, the courses for Film and TV 1, Film and TV 2, and Film and TV 3 were updated to reflect the Arizona Department of Education's 2019 technical standards, and we had not revised some of those standards since 2011, but since 2015, and they are now reflected with the 2019 technical standards. This is a course that provides the Adobe certification, and most of our CTE courses do have some kind of certification and are required to include a certification at least by the second course in the pathway. There are currently some changes underway right now at the state level, thinking about having certification courses in courses 2 and 3, and so later on in the school year when we have more information about that, we'll bring that to your attention. But the course standards for film and TV were also updated to reflect the arts standards, specifically the media arts standards. And they include now the categories of creating, producing, responding, and connecting, which are the state and national level standards for the arts, specifically media arts. This now qualifies our film and TV courses to be eligible for the Arizona State Seal of Arts Proficiency. And as I noted last time, this is the last set of courses that needed to be made eligible for the Arizona State Seal of Arts Proficiency. All of our arts courses, visual and performing arts, now are eligible for the Arizona State Seal of Arts Proficiency at the high school. And there have been no changes to any of the performance standards in any of the packets for each of the film and TV courses. The courses for technical theater include Theater Fundamentals, Intermediate Theater Production, and Advanced Theater Production 1 and Advanced Theater Production 2. They were updated to reflect the Arizona Department of Education's 2017 technical standards, and those are the courses that had not been updated since 2011, except for the Theater Fundamentals course, which had gone through a revision process with the visual and performing arts, and that was updated during that time. But that course now was updated to reflect a one-year course, where previously it was a 2-semester course, and the courses were divided into technical theater for 1 semester and acting for the 2nd semester. And now technical theater and acting have been integrated together into a year-long course. Now, since the first reading, one of the courses we had to make some changes to, and that was the Advanced Theater Production 1 and Advanced Theater Production 2. And I noted in the board packet the page numbers on the standards document where those changes were made. And what happened was, for the media arts standards, the performing arts standards in this course, the designation for Advanced Theater Production 1 and Advanced Theater Production 2 were left out. And each one of those needed a designation because the actual arts standards have different sets of standards for accomplished and advanced. And the advanced standards are noted as standards that are often meant for moving into the college and university level, but because some of our students are in our programs for so long, there are some of those advanced standards that we actually use. So it's a combination of the accomplished and the advanced standards, and so we want to designate which of those standards are in Advanced Theater Production 1 and which of those standards are in Advanced Theater Production 2, or both of them. And so you'll see the ATP 1 and the ATP 2 or both, for all of them now, for those arts standards for that course. And I wanted to mention too, the reason why the courses are combined and why ATP 1 and ATP 2 are combined is that oftentimes by the time our students get to that last course, there really are very few students. And it's similar for other courses we have, like our studio art classes and other courses that might have 3 or 4 years. So we often combine the students, the advanced students, into one class. And so some students are working towards the ATP 1 standards and some students are working towards the ATP 2 standards, and some are both. So we decided to actually combine it into one course, and the instructor just works back and forth with the students on those standards. I don't know if you want me to go through each one, but I can briefly just highlight each change that was made. So I already mentioned the designations for ATP 1 and ATP 2 were added to pages 28 through 36 of the standards document. And that's for each of the arts standards. And then on page 30 of the standards document, for the SCORE 3.0 standard, reimagine and revise technical design choices during the course of a rehearsal process to enhance the story and emotional impact of a devised or scripted drama theater work was removed from that 3.0 standard. So it was one of the advanced standards that the instructor asked to have removed. And then on page 31, the SCORE 3.0 learning goal, which are in the blue, apply a variety of researched acting techniques as an approach to character choices in a drama theater work, was removed from performing select on page 31. And on page 32, there was a learning goal that was added, and that was create and defend a design concept that uses evidence from the script and enhances the director's concept. That was added as a learning goal based on the standards. On page 34, there was a standard that was removed, and that was demonstrate an understanding of multiple interpretations of artistic criteria and how each might be used to influence future artistic choices of a drama or theater work. And that was removed from the responding reflect interpret art standard. And on page 36, the SCORE 3.0 standard, develop a drama theater work that identifies and questions cultural, global, and historic belief systems, and present and support an opinion about the social, cultural, and historical understandings of a drama theater work based on critical research. Both of those are removed from the connecting set of standards on page 36. And also the phrase, and inspiration from other art forms and disciplines, was added to the end of the last learning goal for connecting, empathize, interrelate, research, also on page 36. And so those changes were made as the instructor was adding the ATP 1, ATP 2, and started thinking about the standards, and then made the decision to remove or add certain items based on that. And then last, I'll just mention that as we discussed during the first reading, I know it is unusual to bring all of these standards to you so early in the school year, but the CTE JTED department at the high school will be going through a monitoring next fall, and they are required to upload all of their documents this spring, early in second semester, and they have to all be available and online for all parents, students, and the community prior to this monitoring. And so they're going to be doing all of that work next spring, and we wanted to make sure that we had all of this presented to you and approved prior to them doing that work this spring. And we'll make sure all of these documents are in final form, and any other documents that they need that are connected to these performance standards, so that they have those for their monitoring and their uploads. And that was it.
Not all. Not it, yeah.
You and your team's months and months of work distilled to 3 pages.
Yeah.
The cover memo.
Yeah, the cover memo.
It's the other 300 pages.
Right, of course.
The only item I'll just add, that for theater arts, because we rewrote the standards for theater fundamentals for technical theater to encompass a year-long program, we will take a look at the first year of theater arts and rewrite those standards to the extent we need to and bring those back to you in the spring. It was more important to get the CTE JTED ones to you this fall, and so because we made that change, we will have to make some changes, I'm sure, to the first year of theater arts.
So for years, it's always been one semester of acting and one semester of technical theater. And in general, students signed up for both of them, did they not?
Well, yeah, well, the first course was always the fundamentals course for both sides, the technical side and the theater
Right.
side. But we had two instructors and one who did the technical side and the acting part on the other side. So there were always two instructors. But I think I mentioned the last time that our enrollment in theater arts in general has gone down. And so that's why we're revising this to reflect one instructor and one course that's year-long. But even if our program does grow again, and that's our hope, that it's going to continue to grow again, based on CTE funding, we can't have the kids going one semester to totally just the acting part and get
Right.
funding for the whole year for the
yeah.
technical part.
Got
So
it.
we really needed to do that anyway.
Other questions on any of these pathways for Mary Jo or for Cheryl? And this was a very complete presentation, and we also, of course, had a very complete presentation a couple of weeks ago with some of the teachers here as well, which was greatly appreciated by the board. If there is nothing else, we could entertain, there are two motions at the end of this section of the board book. If anyone is interested in putting forth a motion?
I love JTED, so I move the governing board approve adding the course Business Management 2, Applied Business Systems, and its accompanying course description to the Career and Technical Education Business Management Program as a second option for Business Management 2 for implementation in the 2024-2025 school year as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second for the work that's involved in the Business Management 2 Applied Business Systems program. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We have a second motion here.
I further move the governing board approve the course standards for Career and Technical Education Programs Business Management, Business Management 1, Business Management 2, Business Development Administration, Business Management 2, Applied Business System, Business Management 3. Film and TV, Film and TV 1, Film and TV 2, Film and TV 3, and Technical Theater, Theater Fundamentals, Intermediate Theater Production, Advanced Theater Production 1, Advanced Theater Production 2, for implementation in the 2024-2025 school year as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
both for being here.
Awesome.
Well done, and
Thank
the
you.
work
Great-
you've done
great
on
stuff.
this.
Yes, thank you.
All right. We are going to move on to new business, item 7. 7.1 is a public hearing of fiscal year 2024 budget revision. I still see no one here to speak in person on the hearing here, and I see nothing online to submit for the public hearing. This is the time and place fixed on the agenda to receive public input regarding the fiscal year 2024 budget. And again, seeing no individual signing in to speak on this, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing for revision number 1 and move on to item 7.2, which would be the approval of the fiscal year 2024 budget revision number 1. This is an action item this evening. We have our Director of Finance, Lisa Tatel, here to present for us. Hi, Lisa.
Good evening. I will be presenting on the 2024 budget revision. On the cover sheet, The M&O budget balance increased by $904,000. This increase is due to fiscal year '23 carry forward increasing by $1.5 million, offset by a decrease in ADM of approximately 115 students. Unrestricted capital, or DAA, decreased by $47,000 due to an increase in actual 2023 expenditures of $165,000, partially offset by an increase in 2023 interest revenue received. For federal projects, the $393,000 increase is because at the time of the budget adoption, we do not have exact carry-forward dollars yet for many of our grants. On page 1 of 8, line 29, the K through 3 reading budget was increased by $82,000 to account for additional salary expenditures funded from Move On with Reading that are not funded from the Title I grant. On page 3 of 8, Classroom Site Fund increased by $147,000 due to an increase in weighted student count, as well as adjustments made to fiscal year '23 interest earned and actual expenditures. On page 4 of 8, on line 8, under the All Other Object Codes column, the budget was increased by $301,000 to further account for security upgrades and various other construction expenditures. On page 5 of 8, under the Bond Building Budget Fiscal Year column, line 4 was decreased by $1.7 million, primarily due to security upgrade construction expenditures transferred to unrestricted capital. And line 8 was also increased by $1.9 million to purchase new school buses. On page 6 of 8, under the Other Fund section, line 14 was increased by $154,000 to reflect insurance proceeds received for district-wide storm damages incurred earlier this fiscal year. And then lastly, on the calculations page 1 of 3, under the calculation of M&O fund budget balance carry forward, line 8, fiscal year '23 M&O actual expenditures were decreased by $1.7 million from the 2024 budget adoption, which resulted in an increase in budget balance carry forward reflected on line 9 under this same section. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
I do. Just an explanation, because this is my challenged area, one of many. She doesn't need to go out there, does she really?
You might want to wait for Gina to come back. I think she's just seeing Amy into the car.
She'll be right back.
Yeah.
No, probably want to hear your question.
Well, probably not.
Oh, did you get locked out?
No,
That way?
Cheryl just opened the door.
Okay, gotcha.
so I just assumed I was supposed to come back in that way.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so, just to clarify my understanding, the increase on page 4 of 8, the increase to $2,147,000 for security upgrades and various other construction projects, that is moved, that's our bond funding, correct?
Yeah, the bond is on page 5 of 8. Page 4 of 8.
So where does this money come from? That's what I thought security upgrades and construction was, I guess it's not all under, it's not all bond funded. We
No.
have capital funds.
Over 3 million of it is out of bond funds and another $1.5 million or so out of, we moved to DAA.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you.
I'm sorry if I missed it, but,
didn't miss
may I
it.
ask a couple questions on page
No,
4?
go ahead.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
No, we waited for you.
guessing.
We waited for you.
Okay, awesome, thank you. So Lisa, thank you, presentation. On page 4, let's see, line 3, is that percentage increase due to salary increases that we approved this year? It's just under 150% increase in row 3.
So it increased significantly from the prior year because there was a codification change where these non-instructional subscription software were required to be moved over to this object code 6655, which is it's a new column this year,
Okay,
actually last year.
gotcha. And debt service increase, is that because of the bonds, or what's causing the percentage increase in the debt service? So row 9 of page 4.
So this is also because we have a new Apple lease. So last year, this is the first year of the payment in 2024 for a new Apple lease, which is why it is so much higher in 24 than in 23, because we didn't have an Apple lease payment in 2023.
So $2 million Apple lease payment?
Well, some of it is for district-wide copiers, and then also if we have long-term subscription-based information technology agreements, then those are also coded here as well. So,
Yeah, our lease is, how much is the lease for Apple? About $1.5 million?
yeah, it's very large.
So, sorry, pardon my ignorance. Why wasn't there a fee the prior year?
Because the lease doesn't occur every year.
It's
We don't
multi-year.
pay the lease every year. It comes around, how often?
So it's multi-year lease?
Yeah, we
I assume
actually,
it's multi-year lease, but so the payments haven't been prorated, the payments are
The payments
front-loaded?
are not annual.
we actually waited one additional year, so there weren't any in 2023.
And we waited an additional year because we had the election and we didn't want to presume its outcome, which was obviously great and has had the support of our voters. But I thought just in case it didn't pass, then we would want to preserve some of these funds into the
Gotcha.
next year.
Thank you. Anything else?
Not on that page.
Okay.
We had $180,000 worth of storm damage?
Oh, yes.
There was that brutal storm.
Remember the-
The one
Remember?
that,
The wind.
the August, was it
The
August?
microburst?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had a lot of damage.
like roofs and things like that.
Damage to Manzanita Early Learning Center High School,
Okay. Wow.
and some at Sunrise Drive as well.
You have additional questions?
Not on that page.
No, so Lisa's finished her presentation, so now it's open season.
Nobody has questions on page 5?
I did not.
Page 6, can you just briefly help me to, potentially us, I'm not sure, to understand the federal projects versus the state projects? So line 17 and 28.
Did you say line 17 and 28?
On page 6.
Sorry, page 6.
So the federal projects are federally funded versus the state projects come from state?
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But the numbers have changed quite a bit year on year. So you're looking at a 2.8 million reduction in federal and a 1.3 million increase in state. So have things been recategorized? Have programs fundamentally changed? What's driving those differences?
Yeah, so we aren't receiving as much COVID. We've almost fully utilized our COVID.
On the federal side.
Great.
So that's on the federal side.
Yeah.
Well, on the state side, results-based funding is also ended, so we won't be receiving any new funding for that.
And on the state side, we've gone up 1.3 million on line 28.
Yeah, what happened was, I realized it looks different, but the state decided to take away the line that is for results-based funding and then put it in this other state projects line. But they didn't actually bring in the prior year, into this prior year. And even if I tell them about the formula error, they, sometimes they choose to correct it, sometimes they don't. So this 1.3 is actually results-based funding, and it looks like there isn't anything in the prior year, but there really were results-based funding expenses. So, but it ended.
I don't have any more questions until we get to it's page 1 again, but anyway, so if anyone has questions before that, go for it. 7 or 8.
No, I think it's your show, Gina.
All right, I'm gonna run with it.
Go for it.
Can you tell it's budget season at my day job as well?
There you go.
So page 1 of 2, I'm on the summary of school district revised expenditure budget. It has the CTD number at the top, if that helps orient you as to where we are. And I'm looking at the percentage increase. It's item number 550, the percentage increase in the K through 3 reading program of just under 78%. I appreciate that it's a relatively small dollar amount, but I'm curious as to what's driving the significant percentage increase.
Yeah, so that was mentioned in the memo, that there was an $82,000 increase from the last revision, and it is for additional salary expenditures funded from Move On with Reading.
Move on with reading.
Is it accurate that we moved what at one point was a Title I funded, these were Title I funded positions, and we needed to move them to this category of K-3 reading, Move On when reading, because there were not adequate funds in Title I. But both are for reading support.
Yes. That's helpful. Thank you. That's been answered. That might be the last of my questions. I hate to promise that, but let's see. That's it.
Thank you. No one else has any other questions. It is an action item.
need to take action tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise?
Anyone have the motion in front of them? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking through whether I'm ready to actually make the motion. Everyone else is good? No other questions from anyone?
Not from me.
Amy?
No, I asked my question, thank you.
All right. I move that the governing board approve the fiscal year 2024 budget revision number 1 as presented.
Second. We have a motion and a second to approve the revision number 1 to the fiscal year 2024 budget. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Okay. Lisa, thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on then to item 7.3, which will be the approval of the 2024-2025 school year calendar. This is also an action item. We'll turn it back over to Dr. Denise Bartlett
Yes, thank
for the
you.
calendar.
Yes, so this is, we're asking you to approve the final approval for the 2024-2025 calendar. This was preliminarily approved in December of last year. The administrative team has reviewed it, and we believe that this calendar represents the best balance of calendar preferences and alternatives. A few of the high points for this calendar are new teachers are going to report to work on Wednesday, July 24th, returning teachers on July 30th.
So early.
Yes, the first day of school is Monday, August 5th.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
It's so early.
Why?
Genuine question.
well, many of the school districts in Tucson begin that at
Why do we?
this early.
Because you have to have 180 days,
Right,
no matter
so
what, and
180
be out before June so that summer school can start.
Right,
Back it up from the end
Okay.
of May and you
Yeah.
end up with.
It's hot in August, it's hot in September, it's hot in
Yeah.
October.
Really
And
can't
if we,
wait for the hot to
if we
go away.
waited and then pushed the end of May out,
then it
Then-
goes into Memorial Day,
yeah.
and going past Memorial Day, parents kind of check out at that point, and they don't want to come back for a couple of days of school.
And there are summer programs that students participate in that
Yes.
are not ours, that start at the very beginning of June. So, you know,
Yeah.
we're competing with, we've had these conversations over time. As we creep, you know, more to the beginning of August, and who knows whether it'll go into July someday.
But I
Oh, God, I hope
think that when you look at a calendar, it kind of goes in like a 4-year cycle,
Yes.
you know, where it goes like earlier, then it goes
Then
back to
it'll
later. So I
kick
think
back
we're
in.
at the early
Yes.
part, and well, I don't remember what, it's earlier next time.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Next year's
So-
even earlier.
So we're the
August
second,
4th.
yeah,
Yes.
This might be the third or
This might be
fourth.
the
Yeah, so
third,
one more
yeah.
year of that.
yeah.
And I will say, as much as August 5th comes around really, really early in the summer, I always appreciate it as a parent and traveling with kids, that most schools in the rest of the country were not out in May, and you could go places, and it was not crowded, and it was not a nightmare. So, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other on either end.
It is. We do have a full week of fall break, and that will be October 7th through the 11th. The parent-teacher conferences will be October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And Monday and Friday of that week will be the full days. So we've started to do that based on attendance, so that if we had conferences at the beginning of the week, parents just kind of had their conference on Monday, they just didn't come the rest of the week.
Right.
Or students didn't come to school that week, so we've changed it, and I think the schools are very happy with that middle of the week conference time. Veterans Day falls during the week, so it's on Monday, November 11th. The short week schedule will only be observed at the high school during the week of Thanksgiving and the week of first semester exams.
That's a change, is that there's fewer short week schedules?
We have, this year, it's that way as well.
Yeah.
And then next year will be the second year of that. And then winter break includes 3 weekends, and the semesters are 90 days and 90 days, which is always very important. And then the last contract day for teachers is Thursday, May 22nd. And again, that's before the Memorial Day holiday.
So-
that they don't come back.
Does that mean that graduation is May 15th? Or is it Thursday usually?
Probably the 21st.
The 21st, so it's the
Yeah.
last day of school.
Yes. It's
Oh, the
usually,
seniors-
Oh, the 21st.
Don't necessarily go to school that week, but they still don't graduate till the day
Right.
before the last day of school.
Isn't
And
graduation
finally,
usually on a Thursday?
Wednesday.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
Wednesday.
I've only been doing this for a few years. Sorry.
Yes, Monday
Okay.
is senior awards.
Right.
Tuesday is
Middle
middle
school,
school
middle school,
promotion.
then high
Wednesday is
school.
Yeah.
graduation.
The whole week long, it's wonderful. Denise, is any of this a change from the calendar that we had preliminarily approved?
No.
Okay, and the only reason I ask is that the last sentence in the opening paragraph say the administrative team reviewed this calendar and recommended the following updates. So it kind of indicated that there might be some difference from what we had preliminarily approved.
No.
So it's the same,
Yes.
which is important unless there's a really good reason for a change. So thank you. Any questions, folks?
Like it.
Further commentary? There's a motion in the book.
I move the governing board approve the 2024-2025 school year calendar as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the 2024-25 calendar. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, moving along to item 7.4, which is the initial review of the 2025-2026 calendar.
This is the painful year.
Yeah, right.
Really?
This is a first reading. You will get to see this again at the next meeting to be preliminarily approved at that meeting. This is patterned after the 24-25 school calendar, so there's very many similarities. The new teachers do report to work on July 23rd, and returning teachers on July 29th, and the first day of school is at August 4th. The full week of fall break is October 6th through the 10th. Again, our parent-teacher conferences are the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, and Monday and Friday will be full days of school. Our Veterans Day falls on a Tuesday, so it'll be November 11th. That'll be a holiday from school. The short week again will be observed at the high school during Thanksgiving and the first week of the semester exams. Winter break includes those 3 weekends, and the semesters are divided evenly with 90 days. And the last day of school will be Thursday, May 21st, and it's a full day for staff.
This is virtually identical to last year's
Yes.
calendar, moved up a day, basically.
Yes,
Or not last year's, but this coming year.
yes, that's correct.
You kind of have this down to
Yes.
a little bit of a science nowadays.
Well, in the winter holidays, we normally have a discussion about the winter
Yes.
holidays. Yeah.
That's what I was looking at, the day that it falls
Yes,
on, but.
so the last day for,
Yeah.
in the 2024-25 it's a December 20th, so there's a few days until the holiday.
That works out well.
And then
does work
it's
out
the
well.
19th for the 25-26.
Stopping the full week of fall break a couple of years ago was
That was.
a good move.
Yes, it's very much appreciated.
Start a little earlier because of it, but say a lot.
Yes.
Well worth it.
Yes.
Because he was not in schools anymore. Yeah.
We don't have to, we are not doing anything with this.
No,
right?
this is just a
This is
first
just
reading.
information. It'll come back
Okay.
next meeting for a preliminary approval, and then we'll see
Oh, I
this
see.
again a year
Okay.
from now.
Yes.
These just go out there nice and early, so people who need to plan
And yeah,
family vacations or whatever they need to plan, they have references.
Yes.
right.
All right. Anything else on this? Item 8, 1, Arizona Legislative Governmental Activity. I haven't really seen much going on. No. Okay. Future agenda considerations? We do not have agenda planning covered for tomorrow. I can't make it tomorrow, and nobody can make it with me on Thursday.
Wait, my
Can
plans
you?
just
Your
changed on
plans
Thursday.
changed?
Yes.
'Cause I can't do Friday
I'm not going
either.
to Phoenix now, I was gonna be in
Okay.
Phoenix all day.
So, Mary, what does your calendar look like on the 14th? In the afternoon for me.
I have a meeting at 1:30, but I can skip it. Denise will be there, so we can do anything in the afternoon.
Well, if you'd rather be at the meeting, we could, does 2:30
It's a
work for you?
construction meeting, happens every week. I'm okay.
All right. Do you
So
want
you wanna
to, what
do-
works for you, Amy? In the afternoon?
Oh, so I still, wait, Thursday? We're
Yeah,
talking Thursday.
The 14th. Was it,
Oh.
because I couldn't do.
I couldn't do Wednesday afternoon.
I could do Wednesday afternoon now. I could always do Wednesday afternoon.
Neither one
but
of
you
us could
couldn't.
do
Yeah, we have a
Oh, you
problem.
guys couldn't. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, I could do, I'm, driving a friend to the airport at 12:30, so I should be home by, I could do 2 o'clock or later.
2 o'clock? Okay. On
For
Thursday.
everybody?
That works for me.
Sure.
Agenda planning, oops, doesn't look right. Thank you.
No.
On the 14th. Okay, got it. Anyone have anything under future agenda considerations?
Yeah, all right, I was just saying about the first meeting in January, because we're done now until, right?
Yeah, we're done
The
now
9th.
until the first meeting in January.
January 9th.
All right, well, if there's nothing else under that section, item 10 is to continue on in executive session, and we have made the decision that we'll go back into executive session. For anyone who might be watching from home, understand that we'll go back into executive session for the same purpose as our initial session, mid-year performance review of the superintendent. And no further action will be taken when we reconvene back into regular session when executive ends. There will be no further action taken by the board.
A motion to adjourn.
Just a motion to adjourn, yeah, you're right. Just a motion to adjourn the meeting. So you can be confident that you don't need to sit around and wait to see us come out of executive session unless you really want to, so.
But we're not gonna continue broadcasting it,
Correct.
right?
Oh,
So our-
do we actually, I guess we
Yes.
do, you're right, we actually do cut it off.
Yeah.
Okay, so, there you go, there you
Our
have it.
IT people don't have to wait.
So our IT people don't have to stand here and wait around, very smart.
Oh, but Ryan will be here the whole time. He'll be out in the hall.
Okay, does anyone want to make the motion to move back into executive session for me?
I have it.
You got it,
I was just
okay.
waiting for someone else.
Okay.
Go for it, Amy. I move that the governing board approve to move into executive session to continue the discussion of personnel pursuant to ARS 38-43103A1 as presented.
Motion is second, all those in favor to move back into exec session, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And we will go ahead and just stay in this room.
And we'll just need a few minutes
And
of
we'll take a few
polishing.
minutes.
Back up.